I'm at a coffee restaurant, and I finish this coffee, and you're the waiter, and I go, and I point at my empty cup, and I go, Yachachu Kuf. Yachachu Kuf. What do you think I'm saying to you?
If you would like another coffee, please.
Okay, he's right. Why did he say that?
You're pointing at the coffee. Well, we're in a restaurant.
Okay, we're in a coffee restaurant, so that's what we call expectation, right? What are the odds that I was saying to him, I want my haircut? Or, what time is it? There's some culture where you're pointing at the empty cup. 3 o'clock. That's called expectation. Okay, what else?
Because you emphasize the coffee.
I emphasize the coffee, which is now empty. I drank coffee before, right? I probably am not ordering a steak or tea. So we can use all these skills to understand in a foreign language, and then in certain cultures, you know, people are afraid to do this, right? And we all are, and I don't want to pick on any cultures because you know, there's a lot of really dumb Americans out there too. But people are afraid. And this is the other thing, Aaron. You said you want a cup of coffee. What if you had guessed wrong, Aaron? What if you had guessed wrong? What would have happened? I would never talk to you again?
We'd have worked it out.
We'd have worked it out. I had a friend that was a photographer that hired me to work as a fixer in Thailand and in Burma and translate for him and stuff. And so we're going around and we went into a restaurant that only caters to foreigners. The whole menu is in English. And they had a bagel with cream cheese on the menu. And I said, could I get a bagel with butter? And they had to call a conference. And there's like 20 of them, and they're like debating and discussing, and then, yes, and what would you like? Bagel with butter? You go. And this just went on like forever. And then what I learned, and it took this happened to me a number of times, and not just in Thailand, it happened in a couple other Asian countries. And what finally hit me was that in the waiter's mind, there's a menu item called bagel with cream cheese. And I can order that. And I can order that and say, oh, and can I also get some butter? And that's fine, because I'm a customer. Customers can have butter. But there was no menu item called bagel with butter. So they were looking at the menu and going, well, what is it that he said? It's not on here. We don't have that, sir. Well, you don't have that, but you have butter. That guy's got butter. You gave him butter. Why does he have butter? Dude, you have to make guesses, and you have to not be afraid to guess wrong. People who didn't do well in the program, learning Thai, one of them was Japanese, because their thing is they automatically tune out a teacher. If you've ever taught English and there's Japanese students, what they've been conditioned to do is walk into class, huddle over their dictionary, and I don't really know what they're doing with that dictionary, but they're doing something. And they're completely ignoring you. They tune you out. And one of the reasons why it's a defense mechanism, by tuning out, then you're never going to say something he doesn't understand. But in a listening-only program, if you tune out, there is nothing else. And actually in ALG, you're not even allowed to bring anything else into the classroom. You're not even allowed to bring a dictionary. And then the other one was, he said that Indians didn't do well. And I said, really? I said, why? He said, they just try too hard. So apparently trying is not a good thing either. So if you think about it, children don't try. They just are. And those of you, if you're teaching Anjinban or something, you see kids, they just play and they, whatever they want to communicate with you, so they do, and they do it however they can, and that's kind of how we have to be as an adult. All right, so you've been listening to me talk for a long time, and I'm really glad we get so many people with different languages. And I'm going to ask one of you, JR, I'm going to ask just anybody, a volunteer, JR, someone who's not an English native speaker, to come up and in their mother tongue, you can just tell us a story or tell us about your life, JR. Any volunteers?
JR.
JR, would you mind? Something like that. Anything.
Tell us about that time you beat Manny Pacquiao.
Tell us. Yeah, it doesn't have to be true. It could be about a girl who liked you. It doesn't have to be true.
Sige. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Ako si JR, taga Pilipinas. Ang ikakwento ko ngayon ay kung paano alam natin na mayroong iba't ibang kulay ang tao, di ba? Kaya ito yung kwento kung paano nangyari.
JR, you might want to draw something.
Nagluluto siya. Ngayon, yung isang tao, yung ganitong tao, yung kulay ng balat niya ay ganito. Hindi rin ganito yung kaya ganito yung kulay namin. Kasi tama lang. Ayun, maraming salamat po.
Oh my god, this is what I think it was. Okay, who wants to venture a guess? A recipe?
There's something cooking.
Something cooking, very good.
Cooking.
Okay, something cooking. What was cooking in the big bowl?
Man. Look like
People, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. What?
To
How
get
long?
darker skin.
To get darker skin?
5 hours.
Was that it? Was that it? White people cook 5 minutes? 20 minutes? Was that?
White people have different colors.
The thing is, our God, he was sort of making people. So, just like how you make a dish, that's how different kinds of people, well, according to their skin,
Okay.
how they were made.
Okay, let's look at what did JR do really well. He entertained us. It's funny, man. It's funny. And you know what else he did that was really smart? He actually ran out here,
And then pick
Okay.
up
you know, touching, pointing at the people. Okay, we want to use, how many senses do we have, right? We want to use all our senses. So he was even using tactile sense and listening and, you know, watching and all these things and the pictures. So he used a lot of really good skills. Excellent. Good man. Okay, who else would like to try a story in French, maybe? No, or who would like to try? Can I have a volunteer? Maybe not English.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Mon nom c'est Jérémy et puis je vais vous dire l'histoire de mes parents. Ma mère et mon père. Il y a environ 10 ans, ils ont vendu la maison et puis ça a fonctionné. Et puis ils sont partis pour 2 ans. Ils ont quitté dans les Caraïbes. Mon père, il est très vieux. Il commence à être vieux. Et c'est un petit peu trop vieux pour un bateau à voile. Et puis ils sont revenus au Canada. Et puis ils ont la maison et le lac. Ils ont un petit bateau à voile sur le lac.
Excellent. Let's hear from our Vietnamese contingent. What's that? Okay, so who's this?
Mom and dad.
Mom and Dad. Okay, and
they sold their house.
they sold their house. Very good.
And sailing with the boat.
They bought a boat. They were sailing on the boat. And then what happened?
Where did they go sailing? Did you guys get that?
Caribbean.
What happened to the father?
When
They got
Mm-hmm.
they sold their boat,
Yep.
went back to their
and went back to
bought a
Canada.
house,
Uh-huh.
then that had a lake,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know, they sailed in the lake.
They sail on the lake, or either they have
a
like
smaller
boat.
Yeah.
Smaller boat.
They have a smaller boat on the lake. Yeah.
Very good. Good job, Jeremy. Good job, everybody.